Welcome to the roaring world of chainsaws, where steel bites through timber and raw power rules the forest. From precision cuts to massive takedowns, this is the ultimate show of chainsaw domination. Subscribe now and feel the fury. Welcome to Woodpath Channel. In rugged terrain, where heavy forestry machinery struggles to reach, the chainsaw becomes the ultimate solution. At a large timber harvesting site, the blade roars to life, approaching the towering tree with decisiveness. With just a few powerful cuts, the giant trunk falls, swiftly, cleanly, and with undeniable. A worker wearing protective gear and a safety harness hangs securely from a tree trunk. In his hand is a compact chainsaw, roaring loudly. He carefully trims each branch. The branches are tied with ropes, slowly lowered to the ground where a support team is waiting. Amid roaring flames, the massive tree burns like a giant torch in the forest. The sharp chainsaw roars back, tearing into the burning trunk with relentless force. Its blade bites into the fiery core, flinging ashes and sawdust like sparks. In the middle of the forest, a giant tree towered over the trees, its trunk so thick that two men could not span it. A worker in protective gear and a hard hat gripped a chainsaw as he cut into the thick trunk. Sawdust flew everywhere, and a deafening screech echoed through the wilderness. The tree began to sway slightly, then slowly fell, creating a resounding crash, a moment both majestic and overwhelming.
Masipag. Kurang ini. Kawaannya kurang dalam ya.
Kawaan dalam, cuma kurang talas. Sedikit saja. Cukup pohon tapi.
In the quiet surroundings, only the roar of the chainsaw breaks the silence, a declaration of intent. The worker approaches the towering tree with steady steps and unwavering focus. Each cut is sharp, swift, and deliberate. The massive trunk trembles, then slowly collapses with a thunderous crash, as if nature itself bows before human mastery. The scent of fresh timber fills the air, and sawdust dances in the light. A clear space remains, ready for a new beginning. In the snow-covered forest, where icy winds whisper through bare branches and the ground lies hidden beneath a thick white blanket, a lumberjack prepares for a powerful moment. He stands firm in the snow, gripping a sharp chainsaw with practiced confidence. No words, only the growl of the machine and the bite of steel into frozen wood. The blade carves deep, the solid timber cracks with sharp echoes piercing the winter silence. In mere seconds, the massive tree begins to tremble, tilts slightly, and then crashes down with finality. A thunderous sound rolls through the forest, a declaration that man and steel still reign, even in the harshest cold of nature's domain. In a forest blanketed with snow, the ground lies silent and untouched, like a blank canvas. The lumberjack stands firm in the cold, his chainsaw gripped tightly, its gleaming blade waiting for the call to action. A measuring tape hangs at his waist, a symbol of precision and experience. Every cut is calculated, every movement deliberate. With practiced strength, the saw bites down in exact intervals, each strike placing the blade exactly where it needs to be. Sawdust scatters into the air, and a faint mist rises from the frozen timber as it's sliced in the winter chill. Round, uniform log sections begin to emerge, perfectly spaced, perfectly shaped, the product of discipline, mastery, and a deep respect for the craft. In a large yard, a large tree has been securely tied with crisscross rope from its trunk to various anchor points. A worker starts a chainsaw, the blade screeching loudly, digging deep into the trunk. Once the cut is complete, the ropes hold the tree down in the right direction, gently and controlled. A professional scene demonstrating safe tree cutting techniques. A massive tree stands firm, like a slumbering beast in the heart of the forest. The lumberjack approaches, gripping the chainsaw tight. The steel blade snarls in defiance. Each cut dives deeper, biting into the dense, ancient core. The saw pushes further, relentless, as if tearing into the heart of the giant. Then crash. The monster falls, with a thunderous roar, finally brought to its knees. The man leans in, neatly slicing the log into perfect portions, as if carving up a prized piece of prey. His eyes are sharp, unwavering, locked onto the cut line. The chainsaw snarls with rhythmic growls, a declaration of control, of dominance. Here, hesitation has no place. Each strike of the blade is powerful and intentional. The thick timber yields without resistance, splitting apart as if it had always meant to. Sawdust bursts into the air, and the rich scent of fresh resin fills the space. His every movement is instinctual, swift, efficient, as precise as a Swiss watch. He's fully equipped, protective goggles and earmuffs shielding him from flying debris and the metallic roar of his machine. Amidst the roar of engines and the scent of living wood, one man remains calm, the quiet master at the heart of the storm. The worker hangs from the top of a tall tree, secured with a safety rope. Using a chainsaw, he cuts off the tree's tip as it reaches into the sky. When the tip breaks off, it falls, shaking the foliage below.
Cool.
In the forest, two hardhat loggers stood on either side of a large tree trunk, simultaneously holding a roaring steel chainsaw, cutting deep into the tree. Sawdust flew everywhere, the sound of the two engines merging together, creating a powerful and decisive scene.